Hi, I'm Nate Tanner with Hassle Free Homes. We've recently made some great improvements to our seller financing program. Let's walk through the details. We've been offering seller financing for almost 18 years. During that time, the term of the seller finance loan has been typically either 5 years or 10 years. Now, with the new program, we're able to offer full 30-year seller financing. In the past, at the end of the 5 or 10 years, you had what's called a balloon payment. You had to either refinance or sell the property. Now, with the full 30-year financing, there's no balloon. In the past, it was somewhat hard to qualify. Now, it's easy to qualify. The big, fancy, fantastic improvement is that we're able to offer full 30-year seller financing with no balloon. In the past, we weren't able to do that because the way we have always financed our properties is with private lenders. Private lenders don't want to give you 30-year financing. They typically don't want to even give you 10 years, but we've been lucky enough to have some that would do 10 years. But they typically want to do short-term financing. So our solution is now on each property, we're going to get a 30-year bank loan. We're going to finance the property with a 30-year bank loan, and then we're going to pass that 30-year financing on to you. So there will be 4 steps in the process. First, we're going to enter into a lease. Now, why would we need to do that? It's strictly to satisfy the bank. The bank can't make a bank loan on a property that's already been sold, so we have to enter into a lease. But that will be just for a short term while we get the bank loan. Then we'll upgrade that to a lease purchase. And then after we've had the property for 1 year, we'll enter into the seller finance loan. That's what you'll be in for years 2 through 30, basically. With the lease and the lease purchase, there's actually no closing costs, but with the seller finance loan, that's when you would have your closing costs, which is a few $1,000s. But with the new program, as long as you meet a few requirements, which are basically to make all your previous payments on time and make your payments through auto payment and cooperate with the bank loan, basically letting us in for the appraisal, then we are going to pay all your closing costs. So if you meet those requirements, you'll have 0 closing costs at any point in the process. So what are the terms? You know about the 30-year financing with no balloon. It's also a 30-year amortization, which means the loan will be completely paid off at the end of the 30 years. There may be a prepayment penalty, and that would just be whatever we get in the bank loan would be passed on to you, but that would just be for a short time, typically 1, 2, maybe up to 5 years. The down payment amount is 7%, and the interest rate is based on the market rates, but currently it is 9.49%. So let's talk about the qualifying. One of the great benefits of seller financing was historically that it was pretty easy to qualify for. But then in 2010, the government passed the Dodd-Frank Act, which said that the lender, even in seller financing, had to verify that the buyer or borrower had the ability to repay. And there were 8 specific requirements that we had to verify. So basically, we had to use a licensed loan originator and underwriter. It was pretty much like getting a bank loan. But that only applies to consumer transactions. So now we're going to focus on non-consumer transactions. What does that mean? The buyer, you can be either an investor if you already own a home and you're buying this one as an investment, or you can buy it through your entity. If you already own a business, you can use that business to buy the home. If you don't, you can create a new business, which is a pretty simple and easy process and typically costs just a few $100s. So what are the qualifying requirements on this easy qualifying? Basically, if you've got the income, we'll get you into the property. So we need to verify proof of funds for the down payment and verify income. And if you're renting, then we'll verify that you've been paying your rent. But that's it. We're not going to do a credit check or a background check. There's no minimum credit score. And if you've got an ITIN as your tax ID, that's fine. Pretty much as long as you can afford the payments, we can get you into the property. For making your payments, we use an account servicing company. It's important that it's a licensed third-party company. Why is that? Well, let's say 10 years or 20 years from now, there's a disagreement between buyer and seller about what payments you've been making. We need a third-party company to keep track of that. So the company we're currently using is called Weststar Pacific Mortgage. That's who you'll make your payments to. They'll handle all the accounting and send out your tax information at the end of each year. They'll handle your escrow account for your taxes and insurance. They will also hold your property deed and escrow, and then after you've paid off the seller finance loan, they will record that deed for you. So those are all the details on our seller financing program and the improvements we've made recently. For next steps, you can go to our website, check out the homes we have available currently, submit your application if you see one you want, or sign up for our email list to be notified of future homes with seller financing. I really look forward to working with you on getting you into a home.